Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I just wanted to take a quick minute to talk to you about finishing your projects. So, you and your kiddos, you're making these awesome art projects, and maybe some of them are like more than refrigerator worthy. So, I want to help you to learn how to finish your projects so they can look super awesome, super amazing, super professional. And maybe this isn't going to just go on your walls. Maybe you want to gift them or your kids want to gift them or something like that. So this will be a great way for us to talk about how to finish projects so that if you want to hang them or gift them or something like that, they are ready to go up on your wall or somebody else's. So we're going to start with varnishing or that final fixing for your work. So one way that you can do it is with liquid varnish. Um, I am not going to show you that today. That I am going to put into a separate video because it is a much more involved process, okay? It looks awesome. It looks amazing. And we'll talk about the differences when I do that of which ones you should use the sprays and which ones you should do the liquid. But for now, I'm going to focus on the sprays because these are honestly the easiest that you can get. Okay, first we're going to talk about acrylics. I'm going to put that one off to the side right now. So most of you are probably using acrylics or watercolors or things like that. If you are using oils, you can use these as well. Okay, um, but acrylic paints are awesome in that they look really great, but they also have some cool chemical properties that actually, believe it or not, attract dust. So you want to varnish it because the varnishing is going to help to prevent the dust from sticking to it. It's also going to put a protective layer between the painting and the environment so that you can clean it, okay, with a damp cloth or dust rag, okay, because dust will get on it, but with the varnish, it's going to help to keep more um, of that dust away. Okay. It's also going to help to keep your colors true, to keep those colors from fading, as well as to keep um, it from fading, from the UV light, from damaging it. It'll help to keep it from getting scratched or anything like that. So it's just a great way to protect your acrylic, watercolor, all of those wonderful paintings. Okay. Um, so these are traditionally what I use. Krylon it tends to be the brand I go to. You are welcome to go check out others if you want. Nothing is saying that you have to, and I am not sponsored by anyone. So this is honestly what I use as a professional artist. This is what I use. Um, there are three different types of mediums or of finishes that I know of. Okay, there is matte, which tends to be flat. There is satin, and there is gloss. Gloss is very reflective. It's glossy. It's shiny. And satin happens to be kind of a happy medium between the two of them. I do not have a matte one right now here. Mine is gone and empty, and I have not replaced it, obviously. My apologies. But these tend to be the ones that I go to. Um, Gloss is very shiny. In my opinion, kind of helps to add that shine, helps to kind of help the colors to pop a little bit more. Matte is nice in that it is not shiny, so especially if you're in an area with a lot of natural light or a lot of lights or things like that, the lights are not going to reflect off of it, but it tends to give a flatter finish, if that makes sense. And satin is somewhere the happy medium, maybe in between the two. Satin tends to be the one that that has been my go-to lately, my happy medium between the two. But gloss is great, especially if you're in a hallway or something like that, where maybe there isn't a whole lot of light that you have to fuss with. That can give you that awesome richness to the colors that gloss tends to have. Or maybe you like the shine. I don't know. This really is a personal preference as to which one you choose. Um, when you use these, there's some basics that you want to know. Number one, you want a well-ventilated area. I tend to do mine outside. Okay, I know that is not always convenient. So you can pick your days or the times of year or things like that that you do your varnishing, but you definitely want to have it in a well-ventilated area. I live in Florida. I tend to do my varnishing outside. I use these boards or some cans or some cinder blocks outside to keep my pieces up off of the ground so that I can spray and I'm not getting the grass in there and everything else. I'm getting a nice good coat on it. You want to read the directions for these, and each of them have the directions on there. You need to shake it well for a good couple minutes. 2 minutes, I think, is what they recommend to make sure that everything inside of there is mixed up really well. You want to then spray, hold the can about 10 to 12 inches away, and you're going to spray it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I usually tend to put 2 to 3 layers on my pieces, okay? Um, and then I turn it, I spray the opposite way, turn it back again, and spray it back again, okay? You want to wait a minimum of 10 to 15 minutes in between your coats. And then after your final coat, put it in a place that is dry and well ventilated where it can sit, and don't handle it for 2 hours. Okay. You also want to be in an area not just well ventilated, but you want to watch your temperatures. Okay. Most of them recommend somewhere between 50 to 55 degrees to 75 to 85 degrees. Okay. I live in Florida. It tends to be very hot. You also want low humidity. Okay, do not use in high humidity. All of them say that. Okay, this area here in Florida, Central Florida, is hot and it is humid. So I have to pick my days that I am going to do my varnishing. Okay, it can't be too cold, it can't be too hot, and it can't be too humid. Okay, so I have to find my happy medium and pick my day and time that I am going to go out and do it. So I tend to do it, somewhere mid-morning usually where it's not too hot, not too cold, and the humidity hasn't started climbing up there. All right. And you also have to watch your weather that day too, because you definitely don't want to do it when it's raining outside. You don't want to ruin any of your work. Okay. And this will also tell you what these are good for. Okay. These are good for just about anything. Okay. Everything from photography, artwork, painted surfaces, wood, metal, paper mache, glass, plaster ceramics, dried silks and flowers, paper, and wicker, etc. Okay, this is really designed for fine art. Acrylics, watercolor, oil pastel, colored pencil, oil, digital prints, and more. All right, so if you have concerns about what you're getting, you can message me, or if you go to the store, you can ask somebody to help you. I tend to get these at Hobby Lobby. Krylon, the sprays and things like that tend to go on 40% off here and there, but if you don't have it, Michaels and Hobby Lobby usually have a 40% off coupon. I don't know what the cost is like Amazon or things like that. I'm not sure. But so that's those, okay? It tends to be my go-to. It makes it really, really easy, and it's a great way to just finish this and everything and have it done quickly and everything, um, and you're good to go. Right. Your workable fixative, I have talked to you about this before with the pencils, pastels, chalk drawings, et cetera, et cetera. It helps to prevent smudging and wrinkling. So this is kind of a barrier between, an extra barrier between your artwork and the outside world. For the paintings that you're doing with this, a lot of them can be hung like this, or they're going to be in an open frame. So really your artwork is exposed to the outside world. So you really need to make sure you have a good extra protection on them. For the most part with these, what you really want is something that's going to be anti-yellowing, and you want, something that's going to help with the UV protection. Although, remember with most of these type works, pencils, color pencils, chalk drawings, and stuff like that, when you finish them, They're going to be in a frame that has a piece of glass over it. So there's going to be an extra barrier between your artwork and the real world. Okay, so usually when you're framing acrylics and oil paintings and things like that. You don't even have to frame them. You can hang them up as is, but they're open to the and exposed to the outside world. When you are framing watercolors, pencil drawings, soft pastels, things like that, they are done in such a way that they are matted. So there is your artwork, there is a mat, which is kind of like an extra frame, but it also creates a layer between your artwork and the glass that's going to cover your artwork. Okay, because you don't want your artwork touching that glass. You don't want something that's going to, that glass and that artwork to get um, um, connected, stuck, and then when you pull it apart, it's going to get ruined. You definitely don't want that. Okay. The workable fixative you can use as you're doing it. So if you're doing those pencil drawings so that your hand doesn't, continue to smudge, you can spray this. You can continue to work your product, your picture. Just know that you're not going to be able to erase. It's going to make it more difficult to erase because essentially you just put a layer down between you and your artwork. All right, so it allows for easy artwork. It's acid free and archival safe. The acid free is really important because the acid can damage your papers and things like that. But again, it tells you what it's for: pencil, charcoal, Conte, watercolor, Indian ink, and crayon. Okay. Um, and this is, again, well ventilated area. This one says 6 to 9 inches. You're going to go back and forth. You can apply multiple coats, especially for your final coat. You are going to want to apply multiple coats for each of these. It's just going to help to protect them, and you really want to do that. You and your kiddos spent so much time making these beautiful art pieces, and you want them to be around for a long time. And hopefully this will help you to do that. If there is any questions that you have about it, please let me know. But I hope this will help you guys to, help to create either some awesome gifts or a way to hang up those memories that you have done with your kiddos around your house, and they will last a very long time. Have a great day, everyone. Look forward to talking to you again soon.